Hi, this is Peter Godinez, your ambassador with KADY TV, with another version or segment of Good Morning Port Hueneme. And as usual, we're having way too much fun. So, I have another celebrity here who I always enjoy interviewing, talking to, and that's John Sharkey. I don't call him Professor because there's a reason for that. But John, always good to see you.
Thank you.
We'll do good.
You can call me Professor. That's a different.
No,
that's one of my other careers.
You taught me before the show that certain names, certain culture mean certain things. So you were advising me be cautious.
If you're a piano player, it's okay to be a professor.
So learn another thing I need to learn. So this is an exciting show because we're kind of going to do a review on what happened in 2014. I can't believe another year is here. But a lot happened in 2014, and there are a few interviews with Professor Jonathan Sharkey here. But what was like your first, how would you describe in just a sentence 2014 in the city of Port Hueneme?
Oh, let me borrow from Dickens. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Yeah. It was, of course, an election year. It was a very difficult election in many ways. We had some other challenges as well. Aside from that, on top of that, we're dealing with all the issues of the state unwinding the redevelopment and hitting us, and that cost our city, $4 million right there. And then we got recently just got another note from the California Department of Finance saying, everything we told you was okay for the last 3 years, not okay anymore. How about another $1.1 million per year? So we along with several other cities are contesting that, and we'll see what happens. But you get those kinds of blows, it certainly affects things. We have, of course, our new city manager, Cynthia Haas, has come on, and it's starting to gain traction in reorganizing the organization at the city. We cut almost $500,000 out of our budget last year, and we're looking to do about the same this year as well. And then we keep getting other little surprises. We are in the county animal control system,
right?
As are most of the cities in the county. Some have their own. And the county always felt that they were paying too much and the cities were paying too little, and so they just raised our bill by another $69,000.
Wow.
So
and chunk change.
So yeah, it's all these little surprises that come, these little shocks to the system, and it just when you think you got things under control, something else happens and knocks you off balance.
So maybe 2014 the year of surprises. Is that?
Well, it was an interesting time. It was a time of change, of course. We had two people on the city council leave to come on, and I'm trying to review back to last year. I'm thinking right now about this year, and last year, as I say, we did some positive kinds of things as far as getting our budget under control, as far as looking at the changes we need to make in the organization, and that work has to go on right now. We had some fun things happen. We were talking about what was fun. I mean, we had the food trucks at the beach is always a fun event. We had just a fantastic beach festival. Last year it was great. We had some wonderful acts from America's Got Talent kinds of people,
Yeah.
And it's always nice to be here.
No, it is good. I can't help but think some of the positive memories that maybe it sparked in your mind, but the lighting of the tree was an event that seemed like it really brought families together. I was really quite surprised. Now, I wasn't sure what tree they were going to turn on. I was a little confused there. But was that kind of a symbol of what took place in 2014, that type of crowd?
Well, that's something. This is like a couple of years now we've done that, and it started as something much smaller. I think the first year we had a little artificial tree inside City Hall, and we moved that outside. And
good thing you did.
Coming from a colder climate when we had actually big evergreen trees, we don't have that here, but we have the trees in front of the city, and we had those lighted up, and just the kind of response we're getting from that event, I'm starting to think about, well, do we have enough room anymore? Maybe we should close off Ventura Road and expand out that way, because as people are showing up, people love that sort of thing.
No,
Sure, yeah.
and I thought Elvis had resurrected, because there was a line that wrapped around the block, and I realized it was for Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus.
And Mrs. Claus, yes, both of them were there. And there aren't a lot of cities that can say that they had both Mr. and Mrs. Claus out, but we did.
That was a great event. And then I guess was it Nietzsche that said that which does not kill you makes you stronger. The sources better than I do.
I don't know if I'd apply that quote to that event.
Well, no, not to that event. Oh gosh, my transition work really needs some help. But it was like a lot of things did happen. And the way I look at it is the city of Port Hueneme is a much stronger city as a result of, my first thing pops in my head is Measure M. I mean, that was an opportunity to learn how to collaborate, how to, can I use the word argue your point, but then try to understand the other side. Can you give me an idea of what you got out of that whole experience?
Yeah, what you got me about that experience actually, I just had coffee with Salud Carvajal, who's the supervisor in Santa Barbara County, and talking about these kinds of local issues and the kind of when outside money comes into your campaign, because they had a ballot measure in Santa Barbara County that the oil companies put $8 million into to beat. I look at the Richmond City Council race, Richmond up in the Bay Area. $3 million came into a city council race.
Wow. From
Chevron Oil.
Wow.
But they did not win.
It's amazing.
They did not win. So when we have $100,000 coming into Port Hueneme to get 1,900 votes, that may look like small potatoes, but we're used to seeing these big kinds of this big funding at the state level, at the national level, money in politics and all of that, and big players putting money in. But up until now, it seems like they've sort of overlooked the local level. And what kind of scares me a little bit is they're starting to pay attention to us. If you look at, the $8 million they spent in Santa Barbara County, for a lot less than that, they could run, take over all the city councils.
Interesting.
So that, I think, is an issue. The money in politics issue is a huge debate. Who is funding the campaigns? Where's the money coming from? Who's benefiting? And up until now, that's never been an issue at a place like us. We're just a small city. Who's going to pay attention to us? But here we are, and just an overwhelmingly lopsided campaign.
Right.
I mean, the Yes on M side was outspent 35 to 1.
And 35 to 1.
It was about 35 to 1, and it's tough to overcome those odds.
No, that's an interesting point. So, there are always superstars in a cast of characters in a year, and obviously you're one of them. And I want to do a shout out to your bride, Beverly, who I know
she's way more famous than
I know. We talked about that in one of our first interviews, and so like yourself, and I was thinking you just mentioned Cynthia Haas, who's been in position how many years?
Well, it's going on 3 years now.
3 years now, and get another star player, Tom Figg. I mean, who are some of the cast of characters, the people who, in your opinion, okay, this is your opinion, someone says, you forgot to say me, but who would you say are some of the people's you'd love to do a shout out who are, significant contributors to this city?
Well, we're sitting right now in the Ray D. Pruder Library, and I don't know how many people remember Ray Pruder, but I've been around long enough to actually remember him. He was out of office by the time I got here, but that guy was fantastic. He was, when I first got elected, he's one of the people that put his arm around me and said, welcome aboard. And he was a welcoming figure to everybody. And he did so much to get this building built, which is why they named it after him.
Right.
So that, just being here in the Pruder Library, and, as the generations move on, sometimes you forget who these people are, and he's somebody that deserves to be remembered. So, so that comes out
definitely.
And I look at the people that the friends of the library. Johnny Listman just walked through here, does so much volunteer work here. She's somebody that deserves recognition. I don't know. how many people are aware Donna Breeze, who's Doug Breeze's wife, does a lot of volunteer
Yes.
work in the town. She's very big with the Friends of the Library, and when we had the Sandcastle Festival, that was her thing. Certainly, my wife Beverly Kelly.
Yeah, she's worth mentioning twice.
Is worth mentioning twice. Is now that she's retired from the university, is doing a lot of volunteer work around here, and was the president of the Friends of the Library, and they would have made her president for life, but she didn't want to do that. So,
right.
And Kathy Penpraise is the president of the Friends now, and that's another sort of unsung heroine in our city. There's a lot of people that maybe don't get headlines and don't call attention to themselves.
Exactly.
And we just had our facilities director, a gentleman named Dennis Moran, just retired from the city. He's been there almost 30 years. And one of the things I said about him is this, he's this sort of laconic cowboy from eastern Colorado. He doesn't say much, he doesn't call attention to himself, but every day he shows up and he does amazing stuff. And those are the kinds of people you want to recognize.
No, it's definitely true, and that's a very unfair, tough question to ask you, because there's thousands of people you can mention, and when I think of the category of newcomers to the game, I think of Jim Hensley, coming in and getting onto the board, but that's somebody who I think of new for.
Yeah, well, he's only lived in the city 2 years.
2 years, so it's one of those people,
yeah,
and just like the fact that he won was interesting formula, and I'm trying to figure out how it was. But anybody else you can think of?
Well, we can analyze the campaign if you want.
No. It's usually my director. No.
You know what I like to tell people, and when we think about local government, we all take it for granted.
Oh yeah.
You get up in the morning and the streets get swept, the lights come on, the water works, everything happens. But we've got 110 people in this city that wake up every morning and go to work to make it all happen.
Yeah, there you go.
And those are the real heroes here.
I totally agree. And that's too long a list to mention, but that is definitely a good person to do that. So I think we're getting the sign we're kind of cleaning up here a little bit. But
well, just turned on the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, it's kind of like this is live TV. This is live TV. So
the floors here at the Pruder Library are very clean.
Can you say you can actually almost eat off them?
If you wanted to do that, I'm sure you could.
I know, but I'm not that hungry though, John. No, I would just say, would you think that the city of Port Hueneme has a lot better opportunities coming into 2015? As a result of all that took place in 14.
Sure. Some of that has to do with the economy. We've had, as you may be aware, down on Market Street, that's one of the reasons I ran for office back in 1994.
Wow.
We're kind of at the end of the line, and people don't think about us, but we've actually had some people coming around saying, "Oh, look at this property here. Look at the lot we have down at the beach. Maybe we can start developing something." So just the fact that there are folks knocking on the door or making the phone call or coming down and looking at what we have. It gives me a certain amount of optimism. I think things are turning around. I think there's a lot of people that have been sitting on the sidelines and just kind of waiting for the economy to get better before they jump in. But I think we're getting very close to a time when I think some really good things are going to happen here.
I totally agree with you. And I know one thing happened in 2014. More content for the city of Port Hueneme was actually captured and is there for the world to see. And thank you so much,
Thank you to
Jonathan.
KDTV.
No, and to you, because I had a chance. I can't.
Well, I never lack for content.
I bet you I can run you down. Don't challenge me. But again, thank you so much. Again, Godspeed in 2015. I'm confident that some great things will happen, and you're just the type of person that needs to be in the equation. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Peter.
Well, this is Peter Godinez with Jonathan Sharkey with KEDY TV with Good Morning Port Hueneme. Until next time.